This video is on prepositions. This video is coming after a video on conjunctions. So I thought that I would quickly explain the difference between prepositions and conjunctions. Prepositions are similar to conjunctions because they are also important connecting words. However, prepositions create different kinds of connections than conjunctions. You can remember it like this. Conjunctions go with thoughts. Remember we were putting thoughts together, or we would start a thought and then we would finish that thought. But prepositions, this is what you need to remember for this video, prepositions go with other words. Now, I'm going to share some examples and then I will explain that in a little bit more detail for you. So here's my example. It's a paragraph and I've got all of the prepositions underlined. So when I say a preposition, I will emphasize it for you. The car keys are either by the front door, in my jacket pocket, or they are locked inside the car. I hope that I can find them soon, or I will be late for my meeting. I cannot walk there because the office is very far from my house. If I took a cab, then I wouldn't have enough money for lunch. Wait, I see my keys beside the phone. I am glad that I found them before I ran out of time. So, after reading that paragraph, when it comes to prepositions, you want to think about how the words are being used. So the first thing to notice, and we'll look at the paragraph again after I explain this, but the first thing to notice is that with prepositions there are nouns and pronouns involved. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, we're talking about in the first sentence, right? The car keys are either by the front door, in my jacket pocket, or they are inside the car. So there's a whole bunch of locations where the car keys could be. And remember, we're talking about car keys. So that's a thing. That's a noun. It's a plural noun, right? And that noun, that car keys, is going with other nouns. And actually, I mean door, front is an adjective. But anyway, I think you get the idea, right? The keys by the door. The keys in my pocket, right? And my is a pronoun. Or the keys inside the car. So you see how those words are being linked together by those prepositions. Keys by the door. Keys in my pocket. Keys inside the car. Okay? The other thing to notice is how prepositions tell us more about time and or location. So in this very first sentence here, they're telling us more about location, right? We're looking for the keys. And in order to explain where we think they are, we need prepositions to do that. Now, the other thing that prepositions can do, we've got this preposition for, right? Late for my meeting. Have enough money for lunch. For is used fairly often, right? And it's just explaining how one thing and another thing go together, really. I mean, you need money for lunch. You could be late for something. Another good example of telling us more about location, the office is far from my house, right? Where is the office in relation to the house or to your house? It's far from it. Or keys beside the phone, right? That's the location of the keys, right? And then if we're looking at how prepositions and time go together, right? This person found them before they ran out of time. I found them before I ran out of time. So I think this was a good paragraph to help explain prepositions. And you can see, as I was saying, that the words are being connected by the prepositions, right? Car keys by the front door. Car keys in my jacket pocket. Car keys inside the car. Late for my meeting. Far from my house. Money for lunch. Keys beside the phone. Found them before I ran out of time. Here's another little chart that explains it, I guess, a little bit differently. Sort of differently. Another way that you can think about is that prepositions show the relationship of a noun or a pronoun to another word. So, I use the word link, right? That's another way to think about it. Prepositions are small words that link nouns or pronouns with other words. They often tell us more about what is going on. And in the paragraph that I just read you, it's a really good example of how, without it, we couldn't explain the problem about the car keys and then finding them and making it to work on time. We need those prepositions to link our words together and to make sense. Right? So it's words we're dealing with prepositions, right? Conjunctions are thoughts, prepositions connect words. So prepositions are really important because if we use the wrong one or if we forget one, then we might not make any sense. Here are some more examples. So here in this first sentence is a longer sentence with some common prepositions. Gary is from Thunder Bay, but he came to Sioux Lookout for a new job. That's something you'd probably say. So you'd tell someone where you were from and why you came to somewhere and why you came there, right? For something, right? For a new job in this example. And some more examples. Number 1, Mary walked into the woods. So that preposition into helps explain where. It gives us more information. Second example, we will go straight from the house to the library. I wanted to share this example because you could go from somewhere to somewhere else. Last example, Gary will write the test at the learning center. He should practice with the practice test that is posted on Facebook, right? So, test at the learning center, practice with the practice test, and the test is posted on Facebook. So, without those words at, with, and on, we couldn't explain all the things that Gary needs to do with that test. I wanted to give you a few more lists, a few more prepositions. So I have this list with examples. And something important to remember is that there are many possible prepositions, right? And I've already explained this, but prepositions help explain location, and there are many possible locations, right? Prepositions can also help explain a location in time, right? In the summer, after midnight. So that's sort of new. I don't have any others like that. So there's a lot more than what I've listed. So I just wanted to go through the ones that I have here. So we've got in front of. A tall person is standing in front of me, so I can't see anything. Or we could put it at the beginning. In front of the girl, comma, a tall person stood, comma, so she couldn't see anything. I like using it in the middle, but, both are correct. Below. The temperature is below normal for this time of year. Or we could say something like this. We could put it at the beginning. Below the deck, the pirates conspired to steal the treasure. All that's saying is they're planning to steal the treasure. That's what conspired means. They're planning. It's an evil plan. Let's look at the next one. So you could say across from, or you could say across. Dorothy is sitting across from Dan. So a person could be across from another person, or a thing could be across from another thing. So that chair, or there you start with, you say, this chair is across from that chair. Right? So it could be people, it could be two things. Please walk across the field to meet me. So it's explaining where you need to go to meet me. Across the field. Walk across the field. Next example. Under or underneath. There are too many papers under my desk. Or we could use underneath. Underneath my desk, comma, there are lots of papers. I think that underneath works better at the beginning, and under works better in the middle, like you see in the first example. Or this morning. We could also say this morning. And when you see that there is more than one word, right? This morning, during the day, that's something called a prepositional phrase, right? So you could have just one word, and that would be a preposition, or you could have a few words to explain it, and you would have a prepositional phrase. I ate a good breakfast this morning. Or this morning, comma, I ate a good breakfast. Next one, or actually this is the very last one. During the day, comma, I like going for walks. Or you could say, I like going for walks during the day. Well, this is a good one to end with, because it shows how the sentence still means the same thing, whether we put during the day at the beginning or during the day at the end. But if we put it at the beginning, then you're emphasizing, you're really making sure the person knows that walking is something that you do during the day and not at any other time, right? As like say, during the day rather than at night, for example, right? So it's like saying during the day, especially during the day, right? During the day, I like going for walks. So you're really emphasizing the fact that you're going for walks during the day. But if we put during the day at the end, if we say, I like going for walks during the day, then we're emphasizing the fact that you like going for walks. I mean, there's lots of things that you could do during the day besides going for walks. But if you put I like going for walks first in the sentence, then you're trying hard to let people know what it is you like to do as opposed to when you like to do it, right? Well, I hope these sentences and all of my explanations were helpful to do with prepositions, and I look forward to my next video.